In case you didn't hear it clearly. If you tighten the string too much, it'll snap. And if you leave it too slack, the goddamn shit won't play. And no, we ain't going zen on motherfuckers. We're going scientific. And we're sending a 10 players holler out to Rylo Jenkins on this one. Now we was actually supposed to have done a response to Rylo like a month ago. Y'all know the story with that. So we're late. Apologies to Rylo. We didn't know what was up at the time and been busy of late. Respect to 78 for clearing shit up for us and respect to the LDBC. So we're doing a triple plus response to Rylo for being late. Now for those who don't know Rylo, his style's different. He's like a laid-back boxing philosopher. The law of correspondence is his specialty. Oh yeah. He'll be talking about pussy. And roller coasters. Beers and skyscrapers and all types of crazy sick shit. And you're like, fuck's this brother talking about? What the hell's this shit gotta do with boxing? But when he's done, you'll fucking get it? You'll be like, wow. Yeah. I see now how Brazilian pussy and doggy style sex got everything to do with that guy's right hook. Yo. We kid you the fuck not. And we'll get at what tightening the string too much has to do with a video he dropped a while back. That's from an old one, but the shit's timeless and relates to the game and life in general. Always. With everything. But first we're gonna start with his latest questions. Simple questions. He wants simple answers. Question 1. Rylo asks, why is it admirable for athletes to take risks in most sports? Like diving for balls, but for the most part it's not in boxing. That the fighter that takes less risks is considered the smart fighter. And the simple answer to why is this: it's not. Question 2. Okay, we'll expand upon one a little. But the answer, it's not that simple. Maybe this little eye twister will help answer the question. We'll keep it mild since we ain't trying to fuck up no heads. Or eyes. So don't blink. No one goes to see an action movie hoping to not see action. Except for the new breed of stupid fucking brainwashed fanboys. Everyone wants to see risks. And the riskier that action is, the better and more talked about it is. There's just a bunch of bitch-made fanboys walking around these days making excuses for their fighters not taking risks because they actually fear the one they love getting their asses kicked. Crowds didn't gather to see Evil Knievel pick flowers. They watched to see risky shit. The riskier it was, the bigger the crowd. Fan rivalries have nothing to do with the truth. Fans claiming that bullshit about their fighters. Well, we all know damn well if their fighter went to war with King Kong in a bloodbath and knocked that motherfucker out, they'd be bragging their asses off. That's a fucking fact. But since their fighters ain't willing to do that, they make excuses for him not fighting King Kong. And if he does fight him and he's chicken shit in the ring, they make excuses for that too. Like how he's smart. Also, many of us spend a lot of time with hardcores on YouTube and boxing forums. Sometimes it's easy to forget that these are the minorities and the majority of the real world doesn't believe that bullshit in the least. Truth is, the casuals actually more sane than the average hardcore these days. Now sometimes fighters really are smarter. Because there's a thin line between genius and insanity. You do some risky shit and get your ass damaged for life or killed. You're a stupid damn fool. They'll say that idiot actually did that stupid shit. At the same time, if you do that seemingly crazy shit and succeed, you're a fucking genius or legend while living. And remembered long after you're gone. Yet sometimes that one that takes less risks is smarter because they're smart enough to know they ain't got that kinda skill. While lying to the public non-stop trying to make you believe they do. Lying your way into greatness is the new fad. And promotional companies are playing a part in it. And question 2. Simple question, simple answers. Rylo asks, why would a guy like Laura, who moves his feet more than his hands, be considered the pure boxer? Answer. It's a paradox. He's both. That depends on the mindset of the observer. Once again, the majority of the real public in YouTube hardcores is usually totally different. Yet he can still cause more trouble for a Canelo and triple than most. Those legs are the foundation to setting up the perfect situation for using those hands. Our problem with Laura is he plays it too safe. Even though this isn't about Laura and Rylo, just used him as an example. We'll get to him again in a minute. But for us, in fighter out fighter slugger brawler defensive offensive blah 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 whatever. For us the pure boxer's the one who comes closest to being capable of doing it all, and most fighters' styles are derived from their body type. If you truly study fighters, you'll find for each style through history they virtually all have the same body type. They can only use the tools their anatomy allows. But one of the greatest at using all these tools was Sugar Ray Robinson. In the third video we're responding to an old video. For us the most important of all. And we'll try and keep this simple. Rylo did a video way back, called Threshold. Weary asks at what point should a fighter go for the money? And at what point should he go for the glory? Is there a threshold? And we say, if you tighten the string too much, it'll snap. And if you leave it too slack, the shit won't play. Here's the thing. Fighting's always been about both in one. The perfect balance of it. That's what the intro's about. You gotta beat that guy to get the glory, making you the man which became the foundation to the money. Fighting's always been about the money. And to get the money you must beat the man who beat the man which automatically gave you the glory. Which was the foundation to the money. Both came in the same package. Now it's been turned into a stupid fucking WWE game. Yo Rylo, the truth's this. And we know you're tired of hearing about these guys. But the problem's too many fighters are trying to be Mayweather. And what they fail to understand's Mayweather earned that position. He's not balanced these days when it comes to a lot of shit and hasn't been for a while now. But balance earned him the position to be what he is. He's still been in the ring with the likes of Oscar, Mosley, Cotto and Canelo. Still at some point he's gotta fight Pac. Because he left it too slack. And if he has any fight other than that, the instrument won't play. And evening out that balance by fighting Pac let him get away with fighting Berto. And why'd the super fight suck so badly? The performance in the ring was too slack. For both those fuckers. No matter what fanboys say. Two guys who owe us $50 apiece. And when it comes to historical super fights, that's one they'll never play. Nevertheless he's got the names under his belt. But other than guys like Cotto, most of these fighters are trying to act like Mayweather without having the names under their belt. But no matter how much these guys go for the money and lie non-stop, or claim they don't care about the glory, not one of these fighters want to walk around super rich while being called a bitch. They want the balance of both while most aren't doing what it takes. What made that video you dropped so timelessly important is that it applies to everything in life. No matter what you do for a living. And if you're a fighter, it applies to everything you do in and out of the ring. Super rich guys don't commit suicide for nothing. Lack of balance is why. Balance is a must. With everything. And it's the key to being propelled to the next level. So Laura's hands gotta match his feet. If not, he'll never reach the next level of stardom. His career will either snap, or simply won't play. It applies to everything. And the big problem with fighters today's learning balance. First, no one was calling anyone out, while not fighting one another. Lack of fucking balance. Now damn near everyone's calling everyone out, while not fighting one another. Lack of fucking balance again. There must be a balance between calling a motherfucker out and actually fighting. When that happens, that fighter will gain the power to actually get fans hyped. And the money and glory will come with it. That means you'll get the cash. Along with no one calling you a chicken shit outside the ring. Or ever questioning your career. But the biggest problem with these fuckers today is no balance outside the ring. Champions used to be celebrities. They did guest appearances, went on shows, accepted guest parts in movies, and celebrities were honored to have them attend social gatherings and events. They do none of that shit today. They give no one an extra reason to watch them. And Thurman could be the next biggest thing. If he had a second advisor that could teach him how. But we ain't tellin' how. Fuck that. He ain't payin' us. And we said we was going scientific. Because balance is a scientific fact. Every right needs a left. And if one leg's longer than the other, you can't walk straight. And our plus response goes to the round table crew. We agree with your conversation. We think Thurman did take something out of Porter. Though we hope not. but we'll see in his next 2 fights if he's the same. So respect to Rylo, we're leaving a link to his channel. And until our next one. Peace. We're out.